Today we're going to be doing an artwork in the style of Faith Ringgold. We're going to do a family quilt. So we're going to make a quilt design that tells the story of your family. And if you only have your sketchbook, I want you to take 2 sheets of paper and you're going to attach them together right here like this. So first thing I want to do is trim off those edges. And the best way to make a straight line when you cut, if you don't have a ruler to draw a line, is just fold it first and then cut on the fold line. So I'm going to cut these apart and then I'm going to tape mine together. If you don't have tape, you can use glue. Just slightly overlap them. Now since I can't cut them perfectly straight, I can't butt them up against one another. That means I can't push the 2 ends together. So I have to overlap a little bit. I could put these pieces together and butt them together. But it's actually better. It's better no matter what to overlap. So I'm going to overlap just a little bit so that I can make one big sheet of paper. And I'll start, if you're using tape, something stuck to my tape. If you're using tape, tape it down in a couple places before you put tape on the whole thing. So I put one at the bottom, making sure that line is together. And then I'm going to put one near the top. And once that's in place, then I'll take a long piece and put it in the middle. And then I'll start filling in the spaces with smaller pieces. I really want to get that whole thing taped together. Now, for those of you who are with me at school, I will give you one big sheet of paper. But one page of your sketchbook really isn't enough to tell the story of your family. Alright, so now I have one big sheet. And the first thing I want to do is make a border. Now, your border should be at least 1 inch wide. 1 inch is about as wide as a ruler. So here's a ruler. If I put this on the edge and drew a line, that would be about 1 inch. If you don't have a ruler, just freehand it. I'm going to freehand mine because I like how that looks better for this assignment, because I think if I use a ruler, it's going to look too perfect. And I don't want this to look too perfect. I want to see my hand in my work. There. So now I have a nice border. Then I have to decide how many people are in my family. I'm going to stick to my immediate family. That means the family that I live with. I could have done my family I grew up with, which would be my brother, my sister, my mom, and dad. But for this one, I'm going to do me, my wife, and my 3 daughters. So I need to have 10 spaces. 5 spaces for their picture and 5 spaces for their story. So I think I'm going to split mine in half this way. And then I'm going to split this into 5 boxes. So if it's hard for you to do, make little marks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that's too small at the end, so I need to shrink this one a little bit. 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4. Nope, I'll go. Alright, let's see what this looks like. 1 box. Actually, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That looks pretty good. So now, see what I'm looking at? This is why we had to use 2 sheets. For 5 people, I needed 10 boxes. Each box is going to be a picture, and then, or actually the story and then the picture. So this box is going to be my story. So all the story boxes, I'm going to make a dark line around. so I don't get confused. And I'm going to flip it for the second row so I can have more of a quilt checkerboard design. So these are my stories. Then for the second row, I'm going to start with the picture, and then the story will go into this box. All right. So picture, oh, I'm sorry, messed that up. Picture, 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 picture. And I think I'm going to have to do this, since it's like this, it's going to have to be story, picture, picture, story, story, picture. It's going to go back and forth, up and down. So the story is going to be below or above the person instead of next to them, because I run into a problem when I get to here and then here, if you don't see that. All right, so now I'm ready to start drawing those portraits. You can draw the whole person, or you can just draw their face. So I'm going to work on drawing their faces. So I'll start by just getting some head shapes in each of these boxes. So there's my 5 heads that I need to make. And I want to erase that one there. And then I'm going to put their names into the boxes. So this will be me, so I'll write Mr. Jerry. This is Mrs. Jerry up here, so I'll write Mrs. Jerry. This will be my oldest daughter, Madeline. And this will be my middle daughter, Lillian. And this will be my youngest daughter, Adelaide. All right, now I'm ready to start the drawing. So once you get there, if you decide you want to draw their whole person, like their body, that's fine too. I'm going to keep it real simple, so I don't want to get too caught up in the details. So let's see. I'm going to draw get my eyes. They should be halfway between the top and the bottom. I'm going to draw that simple cross through all of them. That one's right crossed almost already. So I know where to get to put everything. So I'm going to start, I like to start with the hair. And the eyes. And then the eyebrows going down into the nose. Once I get that part done, I can kind of sculpt the face a little more. And add more details. Erase it and get it cleaned up. Let's really get that drawing good. Don't worry about color yet. Let's just get these drawings done. So my neck. Shirt collar. Shoulder. T-shirt, and let's get that cleaned up a little bit there so you can see where it's going. Alright, I still have to add more stuff in the eyes, make those eyebrows thicker. But you can kind of get the idea where it's heading to. Actually, I think I want to bring this up a little more. Shoulders look a little low to me, like that made the neck look too long. Alright, that's looking more correct. Alright, then I've got Mrs. Jerry, Madeline, Lillian, and Adelaide. And here I want to tell something a little bit about each person. This is me. I am a dad. I am a teacher. I like to make things. I love my family. So tell about each person. Now it's easiest to tell about yourself. The other people are going to be a little trickier because you have to think about what they are and what they like, or you could even just tell a story about them. Like I could tell about Mrs. Jerry. I met Mrs. Jerry when I was 24 years old. I could tell this whole little story about that. So that's what we're going to work on today, just getting it set up and start getting your drawings filled in. Next week, we'll talk about color. We'll talk about this border that's going to be finished with a pattern and colored in. There's a lot to this. This should take us probably 3 classes to finish. All right, I'll see you next week.